In cryptocurrency, something is changing, and not in a subtle way. Two mining pools are strengthening their hold on the network, posing the most centralization threat to Bitcoin in years. Meanwhile, a significant U.S. bank just took a step that might permanently alter cryptocurrency payments. In the meantime, the SEC reversed course, indicating a significant change in the way they may regulate tokens or not. Inside the Fed, which is at the core of everything at the moment, this is bullish. Jackson Hole is the center of attention as everyone awaits the Fed chair's next move. However, a senior Fed official is cautioning that banks who disregard cryptocurrency risk falling behind. In addition, there were delayed ETF judgments, a historic cryptocurrency IPO, and a market in a hemorrhage as it awaited Friend's next move. This is where a pattern begins to emerge. The true question is whether the system itself is changing, not if things are changing. It is on the verge of exploding. Now, a lot is happening, and it's not all negative. I am aware of the poor state of the market. Although everything is red, we don't operate in a vacuum. In general, a lot is happening. Crypto is looking incredibly bullish right now, and you'll notice that during this cycle, people will tell you repeatedly that it's going to return to the bear market, but it's never the case. We'll reach new all-time highs, and they won't say that it's over, but it will come eventually. It isn't taking place. We have come this far to ensure that Ethereum XRP and all these other coins do no harm. We're causing significant harm. You'd better believe it. Only a question of time will pass. However, our current focus is on Jackson Hole, a friend there, and what will he do? He never stops talking about tariffs and macro fears. Inflation will begin to rise once more as our firms begin to absorb these costs and pass them on. Trade tensions are unclear. The Fed minutes reveal a great deal of disagreement. They have no idea what they will do. Do they ignore rates? Do they continue to be restrictive, or do they change course and become more lenient? Let me tell you something: they must overcome this issue and begin lowering that rate in a deliberate and regular manner. Don't start making 50 basis point cutbacks until you're the master of panic. It's absurd. Take action right now and begin lowering the rates gradually. Liquidity is the lifeblood of cryptocurrency. Powell's remarks are either going to cause a major breakup or more severe anguish. I'll tell you this even though I'm not an expert in this field. During the first Trump term there, this individual gave in to pressure. Once a folder, always a folder. He is genuinely pursuing the chairman, but he gave in, and he began lowering the charges. He will do it once more. If I've ever seen a caver, this guy is one. I'm hoping for a change in direction here at Jackson Hole to indicate that the Fed will begin to ease off and begin to loosen restrictions. We'll have to see it unfold. The main one is that everyone is observing that Ethereum, XRP, ADA, and Bitcoin are all down. MicroStrategy is looking as bad as it can get, and we have Coinbase. It's not good out there, but if he speaks, if he makes a change, and if we see financial metrics relaxing, then things will get out of hand. And that's what I believe we'll get. We've started the 48th Jackson Hole Symposium, featuring keynote speakers on labor markets and transition, such as Christine Lagarde and Jerome Powell. In September, what will the Fed do? How will labor risk and inflation be balanced? Recall that those labor reports had to be redone, and this is comparable to a Bernanke in 2008 and a Volcker in 1982. A market signal flare has always been Jackson Hole. What will take place? Ethereum is down 5%, XRP is down 6.2%, and Bitcoin is down 0.7%. Of the top 100 tokens, 92 are down. The value of cryptocurrency dropped to $3.9 trillion. Is this the beginning of a bigger decline or a buy-the-dip opportunity? That will depend on what Powell does in this situation. We'll have to wait and see. It's a crypto bloodbath here. All we can do is wait for Powell. Once more, Robinhood, Coinbase, Galaxy, MicroStrategy, and everything else from stocks to cryptocurrency, particularly in the latter space. It all comes down to liquidity and what will transpire. The Fed has a new supervisor now. This is significant. The new supervisor head at the Federal Reserve is pro-crypto and warns that banks cannot ignore it, and that doing so will result in their position in finance declining. Michelle Bowman is this person. According to Fed employees, the vice chair of oversight for the Fed favors special regulations for stablecoins under the Genius Act. They ought to have some cryptocurrency so they can learn about it. In this day and age, this is essential. Why it is important? The industry's own opinion is being echoed by a top U.S. regulator. Banks have been reluctant for years. The Fed's message is now very obvious: adopt or lag behind. This is an international contest for the financial industry's future. The Federal Reserve itself is now pushing out the message that you need to adopt this technology, which is bullish in and of itself, as soon as it arrives. Bitcoin isn't looking good right now. It's facing the greatest threat of centralization in years, Ample and Foundry USA are the two mining pools that control 51% of the hash. They now hold 51% of the vote. In the event that they plotted, in theory, it would make it possible to restructure the chain, monitor transactions, and carry out double expenditures. Will these two mining pools accomplish that now? Not at all. They wouldn't do that. However, the issue lies not in having faith that Foundry and Antpool would behave well. The lack of trust is what decentralized technology is all about. This must be addressed because it is unacceptable. at Piril is decentralization. Decentralization is the cornerstone of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Bitcoin's resiliency is seriously called into doubt by the possibility of such power concentration, even in the unlikely event that pools never collude. I just told you that Foundry and Ample won't conspire, but a trustless system can't afford to make assumptions based on trust. The point isn't that. They must be unable to plot, and this must be resolved immediately. Having that risk at all is not good here. It's a problem here, but I'm sure it will be resolved. Decisions on crypto ETFs are currently on hold, according to the SEC. The SEC has postponed making a decision on significant ETFs linked to XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana. The Truth Social Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs have been postponed until October. On October 16th, Solana ETFs had 21 Bitwise shares, and on October 19th, there were 21 XRP Trust shares. Crypto ETFs may change in October, or any delays may irritate investors. There won't likely be any further delays. It's going to be crazy town, and I believe we're going to gain acceptance here from everyone. It's fantastic for me or you. We wish to distribute Bitcoin at a low cost. However, please share your thoughts below. As usual, kindly like and subscribe.